What's up, guys? Another workout video. Well, all of them are workout videos, so I don't know why I said that, but today I'm aiming for mostly rehab because I pulled yesterday and was pretty sore, especially on my right, because I didn't pull that much on my left, but on my right I was already kind of sore going into it, and I just pulled this like super strong new guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I follow you," and I was like, "I have to ask him to pull." And he was just like way stronger, but I was like, I know I need to like give him my best. So he was just holding me, and I was trying to, get my frame in there, try to budge it at least a little bit, and just failing like that on your joints, I got really bad like aching in my shoulder and elbows. But yeah, so also my elbow flexors are a little bit sore. So mostly I was thinking of doing some tricep work, maybe a little bit of pressing, and some shoulder external rotation that I used to do. And it's kind of funny because I used to, focus on rehab a lot. Like if you go back when I started these videos, I would invest a lot of time into rehab. I bought even like a massage gun, which I actually left behind in Korea, so I don't have it anymore, which is sad. I had like a cold pack, like a heat pack, like you know what I mean. So, and I would always do these rehab workouts with high reps, like after every like pulling session or whatever. But since I've become kind of lazy, I kind of stopped altogether doing rehab. So we'll see how I feel after this today. So here I'm doing some push-ups, and I guess it looks kind of goofy, but when I'm just like laying there at the start, I'm kind of trying to figure out the right angles for my hands and just like the right movement that feels like the healthiest for me. Because like I said yesterday, I always get these clicking and just little like impingement, like weird feelings that I don't like, and if I can find a way to do it that it doesn't hurt at all, I'm really trying to aim for that. So yeah, here some tricep push downs. I'm going for maybe 4 sets of 12. So I'm actually already starting to loosely follow the program Miguel wrote for me. So I should probably talk about that. I asked if he could just give me like a program so I can train more consistently and efficiently, because he's definitely like more knowledgeable about that. And so I got it, and I won't leak the whole program because it's pretty like top secret stuff, but it's for now. The one I got is 4 days, so 4 days of training and 1 day of practice per week. And so it goes like side pressure / hand is what he calls it. It's a lot of like cupping and fingers, like, so that whole movement, and then pronation back pressure, pretty like self-explanatory. Chest, tricep, shoulders, some pressing, push-ups, stuff like that, and then back and biceps. So out of these, I felt that I was thinking of basically doing like chest and tricep anyway, so I didn't do all of the chest, tricep, shoulders program, but I did like parts of it, maybe just to get a feel of what it would be like to actually do it, the whole thing, which I think is doable. Just my weights won't be that impressive, but so yeah, I did the 3 sets of 12 push-ups, which is in the program, and then tricep push-downs with ropes, which I think this is what it is. 4 sets of 12, 20 pounds, which is not a lot of weight, but again, I feel that for arm wrestling, it's, I don't know, as long as it helps me recover, I feel like I'm okay. Like I don't think I'll ever be able to push a lot of weight on this because it just feels weird like for me, but anyways. And then there's bench press and dumbbell press, but my joints were a little too sore, so I thought I won't do that today. I did some dumbbell lateral raises, which is also in the program. So So yeah, that's sort of how I came up with what I'm doing today. This shoulder external rotation one is one I used to do a lot. Also at the beginning, it was in one of the Table Monkeys videos, and this I'm working with 5 pounds the entire time. And I'm adjusting the pulley height on each set. I'm doing like 3 sets of 8 to 12 again. It was a lot easier on my left for some reason, I think because my right was used a lot more. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the best pulley like angle and just like the resistance angle is for this. Still not sure yet, but so yeah, I did that with 3 different heights for the pulley. And so I'm thinking today I did rehab, so tomorrow I can probably go straight into the program. So I'll do the day 1 tomorrow, and then I can do the, in terms of the training, day 2 on Wednesday, day 3 on Thursday, day 4 on Friday, and then maybe rest on Saturday and pull on Sunday. Or I don't know, maybe if I get busy I'll switch it up, but I can definitely, I feel, fit the program into this week, so it'll be fun to see how it goes. And I'll let you guys know also like what kind of weights I was able to use. Yeah, just because it's the first time I'm doing, I think, this much work, and also just with a more like structured and efficient program. So yeah, I'll keep doing these external rotation sets, and I also did a little bit of curling with like 5 pounds again, just to get a pump in my biceps and hammer curl muscles, because I don't know, it feels nice sometimes for rehab, but also I wanted to take a picture of my arms, so had to get a little pump there as well. But yeah, this is there's a lot of time left in the video. I don't know what there is to talk about. Maybe East versus West I can talk about a little bit. I still haven't really watched all the matches, but I like sort of skimmed through all of them, and I watched from start to finish a lot of them. I was watching them and I was falling asleep, like, so yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know, like maybe I can pull up the list and go through it, because I can't really remember all of them off the top of my head. Maybe I'll talk about like what results I expected and so on. Do they even have a list of all the cards? Okay. So, Robert and Ahmet Yenerer, I honestly didn't really know either of them, so I'll skip it. Doug and Raymond's, I honestly, I don't know. Coach Ray kind of, I mean, he'll never see this hopefully, but I don't know. He's kind of annoying. So I was kind of happy to see him, because you know, like he was saying, like, yeah, like I'm not actually like being cocky, but he kind of was. I think Doug, I kind of agree with what Doug was saying before, and how like they just kind of backhandedly talk a lot of shit. And Chance and David, I mean, I didn't really see Chance winning, but David's super impressive for sure. I wonder if David really felt that he couldn't go into the hook at all, which maybe he couldn't, but Chance definitely interesting arm wrestler. Maybe lacks a little bit endurance, but his hand, even when someone like is trying to top roll him, even like the first round, he had really good hand control. So he's definitely getting better at that too, like stronger wrist and everything. FA versus Eidbeck, I kind of skipped through this. I think FA 3-0'd him, and I didn't really know them too well. Ali Jan and Oleg, I thought that Oleg would beat him, so I was kind of surprised. I felt that the first 2 rounds, Ali Jan pinned him so many times, and I was kind of confused, like, why they didn't call it, because usually, like, I'm not one of those people that would just hate on the refs, because a lot of times, like, and this I feel like applies to life in general. Like if you're criticizing, people are so quick to criticize and just like question things that have like been around for so long, and it's like there's a chance that you probably don't know more than like these referees, like, you know what I mean. But I just felt that was kind of weird. But I was surprised that Alijan was able to win so easily, and it looked like Oleg kind of tired out. So maybe I didn't really know that much about Oleg, I guess, but I thought that once it stopped it would go the other way in Oleg's favor, but clearly not. And then Craig Tullier versus David. I kind of expected David to beat him, and it seemed like he was kind of in control the whole time. Favorite Gennady, I actually didn't watch it, but I think Gennady won comfortably as I expected. Porkchop and Zurab. That was like obviously very disappointing because Porkchop got injured. I felt that the hook strength was not too off, but definitely Porkchop came off a little bit amateurish compared to Zurab, trying to go outside, getting curled in, like stuff like that, and just not executing 100%. And yeah, it was definitely close strength-wise, I think, but Zurab, I think, was a little bit stronger and also got into better angles. And I think if Curtis wanted to, he could have easily sunk into his King's move. But that's one of those things where, like, even when it's there, you got to pick the right moment to go for it, because, like, you can end up, like, in a weird spot. Like, I've had those too, where I'm, like, for example, I'm in a winning position, and then this guy, like, you know, stops me and drags me, like, across, like, opens my arm up, and I'm ready to give up. As soon as I'm opening up, I'm like, okay, I'm done, and I'm, like, ready to stand up, but, like, it's hard to communicate that with the other person, right? So it's, like, you know, you can kind of jump up and just let him pin you, but a lot of times, like, you can get hurt because you're not fighting, you've given up already, but the other guy doesn't know, right? So it's one of those things where I feel like Porkchop was trying to dip into his King's move in a really bad timing, and got injured a little bit, where he was kind of like, oh, I've already lost, but, like, maybe I'll try, you know what I mean? So it wasn't, like, full commitment, and I think off the go, if he dipped under, he could have definitely gotten to his King's move, but I also feel like, what can you do from there? And this is also something that I've really thought about for a long time, is you cannot really King's move if your shoulder has to strictly be above the entire time, because even with a bone lock, it gives you like 10 degrees of extra, like, movement, like, above the pad. Does that make sense? So you can adjust, like basically, though, like, that's such a small range of motion, and you know, or even less than 10%. So what happens is, if you're fully extended on your bone lock and your shoulder has to be completely above the entire time, you literally, like, your shoulder cannot move. Like, it's like immobile, or else it's a foul. So imagine, how can you possibly come back or have any kind of offense from that position, right? So it's like your arm is completely opened up, you're not allowed to move your shoulder, you're not going to bicep curl the guy, you're just literally relying on your bone lock. So it's fucked. So I think that's a huge difference when it comes to Michael as well. Like, people are always like, yeah, his, you know, nerve damage, and I don't know him, like, I don't know what exactly is going on, but I'm telling you, the way he pulled Devin when they pulled in Armors, right off the go, he's attacking, dipping under the table, attacking, and that's how you're actually effective. And I think it makes a massive difference when you limit yourself so severely, especially, like, with a King's move, where, like, you know, you need room. So, like, when you stop someone in a King's move, the only way you can recover from that is to dip under the table, because you, like, how else are you gonna have an offense, right? You're not gonna bicep curl the guy when your arm is fully extended. You need to be able to dip under the table even a little bit, like, while you're transitioning. It can be just a second. But so I mean, I'm not saying that, like, the shoulder above the table rule is necessarily, like, bad or wrong, but it kind of sucks to see, like, because I really love the King's move. I love watching it. But I'm telling you, like, that makes such a big difference, because technically, how can you have any offense? Like, unless, like, the person's arm just literally snaps off while they're trying to pin your arm, you're fucked. Like, like so. So I feel the similar way with Curtison's drop. If you can dip under, like, in a not so strict way, yeah, there are chances because you can rise up, regrip, and you can hit by dipping under as well. Like, but in terms of, like, with the strict rules, I don't think Curtis could have came out with any kind of offense from the King's move. So either way, maybe 0-1, but obviously sucks that Puchak got injured. Gabby versus Barbora. You can kind of see that it was very close to Gabby getting, overwhelmed in the first 2 rounds, and it did happen. And I think it'll be hard for her to overcome the leverage because it seems like, there's the only thing you can do is try to keep your pronation at all costs, and I don't know how you can. Like, it seems harder to close that gap than it is to, I don't know, get a stronger arm or something like that. So Barbora definitely looks like the champ now. Corey West and Arif. Didn't watch this fully either, but I seen Arif pinned him a few times, like flash pinned him almost, like, and 3-0'd him. And I think a lot of people weren't expecting this, but I do remember Engin kept saying that, it's not just about, like, your hand is on top rollable. Like, if your style is supinating, he kept saying Arif can apply all of his pressure, he can get us, like, the perfect position and just hit sideways, right? Because so he was talking about, it'll be like the supinated side pressure versus, like, Arif's, like, pronated or like, pronated side pressure basically. So it's not, you don't have to peel the person's hand open, but it's still an inferior position to dive in like that, I guess. Paul and Rustam, it looked like Paul was actually stronger than Rustam inside in that 3rd round, which is pretty insane. And obviously it really sucks that Rustam got injured. So yeah, and then Corey West, Ferret, left hand. I think Corey was stronger and deserved the win. Definitely, I guess, impressive from Corey, but also, like, I kind of expected this anyways, and I guess Ferret is doing really well for, being at his age, but it's not quite there with the really top super heavyweights. I mean, you saw, like, even with Vitaly, like, he took his hand and couldn't pin him for so long, and I don't know, I just don't think he's close, but he's not quite there. Michael versus Angarbayev. This one I did kind of watch, but I think I couldn't say I remember all the details because I was, like, skipping through and kind of sleepy. I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, it sucks that Michael can't go under the table, and even when he was above, he was getting called for foul, so that was kind of crazy. But it was kind of, like, sad to see Michael just be, like, I don't know, like, go in for a press where he knows it's not gonna work, but, like, he kind of, I feel like it's hard for him because, people have made it so difficult for him to, like, hang people out in his King's move, so it's like, but anyways. And then Brzenk Irakli. I'm always rooting for Brzenk, to be honest, and it was really annoying to see him lose that way, or not annoying, but kind of sad. I don't know, it looks like, Brzenk gassed out a little bit, but still extremely impressive the way he was able to catch Irakli. And yeah, like, flop press is, I mean, it makes sense because, if you think about it, like, just looking at it, like, if someone is diving in with their entire body and they're just giving it everything you have, it was almost like one of the things that, like, kind of was, like, really, like, wow, that's amazing, was, like, the way that arm wrestlers, like, they're really good, especially Brzenk. Once he had hand control, it wouldn't matter, like, if a big guy is just committing with everything, his arm would not go down, right? So the way you look at it, it's like someone's hammer curling, like, just with their bicep versus someone's entire frame and just, like, pushing with everything they have. And you can just imagine, like, how much force you feel you'd be able to generate, where you would feel so strong. Like, but that was one of the things I was kind of like, wow, like that's incredible. Like in terms of arm wrestlers, right? It's like a special ability you have just with your like bicep and hammer curl. But it seems like it actually turns out like, yeah, it didn't work against Irakli, but I don't know. But that's interesting because you also don't see that much in the super heavyweights. It does get kind of overwhelmed by all the muscle strength and so on as you get to heavier weight. But then you have someone like Jerry, which is really crazy, win against Georgie. And yeah, I'm going over the time too much, so I'll kind of wrap it up here. But it's really interesting. I honestly want to try, like, if I'm ever in a situation like I think it's actually a good idea to watch Jerry and sort of practice that technique specifically, which obviously no one really does, and they're like, Jerry's a unicorn and all this, but I think actually everyone has a frame and people are just kind of scared to use it. So those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching.